I will judge a parent if I see them giving their small child, a tablet, a phone to distract them. Does that, and I don't have kids, but I would feel like I wouldn't do that because they're too young. Am I valid for how I feel about those parents or not? Because you're a small kid, they're small children. Why the fuck are you giving your kid a tablet? Why are you giving them an iPhone?
You shut the fuck up.
But that's an easy way. That's an easy coping thing. It's an easy way out.
I agree 100%.
I agree too.
I agree 100%.
So it doesn't make me crazy.
No,
That.
I don't like to see that either. I think a lot of parents just don't know any other way to keep their kids calm, and they don't have the patience to like work on anything else, because a change will take time. And their kid will probably be fussy for like a few days or maybe a week or whatever as they, get used to not having that in their hands or whatever. But I think that it's that it's not a good thing to do for your kids or, no, it's just a no for me.
Because when we were kids, we didn't have tablet. Our parents would give us maybe crayons or like something to draw. And I think that's so much more appropriate.
Yes,
than giving them like a tablet and those little shows. There's like overstimulating and stuff like that. It could be a lot.
Yeah, the only time I will ever turn on the screen for my son is like if I need to shower and he's crying or like he's bored or something. I'm like, all right, watch this for a little bit. Give me like 10 freaking minutes and I'll be back.
Okay.
But I don't like to do that either because one, it's proven to shrink their brains. I don't know if you guys know that. Any screen time whatsoever.
Yeah. I've heard
is proven to shrink their brains.
I've read a couple of things. Their attention span. A lot of times once they get older, they suffer from a lot of the ADHD and a lot of these deficiencies and stuff like that. So, and we really don't know. It's the technology when you give them. I'm talking about like 6-month-old babies in front of a screen.
6 months.
That's horrible.
Yeah, I see it.
So horrible.
I see it at the restaurant. I see it.
What?
Yeah.
That's so bad. No, I wouldn't.
And that's why I was asking. Cause I was like, I see those people with those parents with their, here, shut up.
I think when the kids are like a little bit older, they're more like the parents are more prone to doing that because the kids are older. They're running all over the place. They're screaming, whatever. But even then, like I don't think it's a good thing. Like
I agree.
Sit down and talk to your kid. Have
a conversation.
Teach them something. Like ask them something. Like talk.
I'll tell you this, man. Because there's a big family on my partner's side,
Sure, yeah, of course.
And they have a shit. Well, I said it earlier. There's a shit ton of them. There's way too many. I lose count on how many there are. But there's times when we go to like restaurants and they're there with all of those kids.
Oh, really? Okay.
They're all great kids, by the way. I know somehow someone's gonna misconstrue this bullshit, but yeah, like I'll see that they're all over the place. One's running over here, the other one you don't know where he's at. Then the two are fighting. The other one's on the floor crying, and you're like, dude, what's going on? So then it gets to the point that they're like. They'll put out like YouTube. Give them the phone, and they're like, that way they can just eat, Because if not, then they're just chasing them the whole time. Yeah. So and that's where I see we're in that environment, and it's like, what do you do then when you're there at a dinner with a lot of people? Now you may say, well, maybe don't bring the kids. I agree. You fucking know me so well. I know you.
This guy knows. I was like, fucking leave the kids at home.
Right, I to a certain degree, I would
but
say
it's not that simple, Marvin.
But
it's not that simple.
But say it's a big family outing, everybody wants to come, and maybe you don't have anyone to watch, you don't have a sitter. You're like, okay, we'll bring the kids, and then maybe they even encourage it. Oh, I want to see the kids. That's what the other people say. I want to see they can bring the kid, the grandchildren, or the fucking niece and not whatever. So then everybody wants to come out, and then you see the parents there like, fucking, I gotta deal with this fucker all day long. And then he's running around doing this and chasing him around the fucking restaurant. Sometimes you give him the fucking iPad or you give him a phone just so they can sit there so you can actually eat.
How old are the kids?
5 and under.
Okay.
5 and under.
It's a young age.
I know, son.
But I don't know, man.
It's like an army of them. Dude.
But when I was little, I didn't run around
like
the restaurant.
Basketball roster.
You had to sit down and
5.
behave.
Huh? Listen, there are some kids out there that don't, it's really hard to calm them down. So for something like that,
you can't just give them crayons.
I would get it, Now, if there's really like, if that's like your last like straw and you're just like, oh my God, like I'm losing my fucking mind. Sure. For me, okay. Because you know how people are like, oh my God, whatever, talking like, no. For me personally, that's how far I would have to go to turn to that. But
For what? When you see them like acting crazy?
yeah,
or-
like yeah, if I'm losing my patience, I'll do that.
Yeah.
If I'm out, if I if I don't want to cause more chaos,
You need to control them.
But-
What would you do?
But it's also getting like not allowing that to be
It
the
sh-
solution every
It
time.
shouldn't be happening. It's
You
I
get
agree.
me?
Or like if they're just at home and they're doing this, like, oh, here's your fucking iPad. Like, no,
Right.
I would say, wait, let's try to do something more constructive. That'll
Yeah.
probably distract them. Maybe they'll enjoy that than just the iPad. But
Yeah, but at the same time, my son is not even a year old yet. So for me,
Sure,
it's
different.
not the same. He's
Yeah,
not
you're
running
not there
around
yet.
yet.
You're not there yet.
Maybe when he's there,
we'll talk.
we'll talk again. And I'm like, yes, he has his own like tablet now.
Yeah.
He has like his own game
I'm
room.
kidding. I doubt it. I highly doubt it.
It's funny because I have a friend of mine and I had a conversation with him the other day, and I'm like, like, how does that work for you? Like, and he has a kid who's autistic, and so he has multiple kids. I think 3 kids, and they went to the restaurant. I was like, oh, how do they behave? He's like, bro, they behave really good now, but it wasn't always like that. So he's the first time this happened. They went to the restaurant and they were acting crazy. He's like, you know what? Let's go. At the middle of the table, wrapped everything up, went to the car. Kids were crying hysterically, whatever. That we don't want to leave. He's like, listen, if we go inside here, anywhere we go, you have to behave. If you don't behave, we will never go to another restaurant again. And ever since then, he never had to say another word. And so if you treat your kids like they're little children and you need to distract them, you need to fucking baby them, then that's how they're going to behave. But if you treat them like adults, we cited about it earlier, to a certain degree, at certain ages, I get that, they will be
Yes.
fine. They will respect you.
Yes.
They will understand.
Yeah.
Well, what about
I can agree with
what
that.
if they don't though?
Then if they don't-
because for example, you say, hey, if you continue acting like this, we're never going to go to a restaurant again. But technically, then you wouldn't go to a restaurant again if they continue.
I wouldn't go with them.
So what would you do with them?
Then there's a parent who takes care of them or a grandparent or
Well,
whatever.
You see, but look, now you have to rely on on another factor
Of-
that you
of
may not
course.
have that resource.
Of course, but
So-
even the threat of that, if you're not bringing them around, maybe you can't execute on that threat. But they don't know that. If they think, well, this is a good time, I want to have a good time.
Manipulation, then.
Well,
I think your thoughts are going to change a lot.
I get it.
you're-
Listen,
once you're actually a parent.
I'm not a parent, but
Yeah.
I see
Because
that.
honestly,
way to
it's
change
not
that.
that black and white. It's not that black and
Way
white.
to change that.
And I would think like that before I was a mom. Like I would see kids with their parents, and I would be like, oh, when I'm a mom, I'm gonna do this.
I get it.
But it's really not
Yeah,
that
you
black
think
and
this
white.
is a breeze, dude?
No,
Like-
but full disclosure, I always say, listen, I'm not a parent. I don't know how I'm gonna be, but I would like to believe so. But again, once you have a kid, all that goes out of the window. But I would like to have certain boundaries because I see it all the time at my job, bro. Fucking kids running around. I'm like bringing drinks. I almost get run over.
Oh,
by a
and
fucker.
let me
It's
tell you
something that
this.
you have to learn to
Fuck
like
that.
navigate when you're actually there. Honestly,
And you have to make sure that you and your partner, the mother, your wife, whoever it is at that point,
me and my girlfriend, we talk about
has
this all
been
the
the
time.
same on the
Yeah.
same page of
Yeah.
how you want to raise and treat and discipline your child.
for
because if
sure,
you-
that is big. Really
Yeah,
big.
and I'm telling you from first-hand experience of what I'm seeing. I mean, obviously not me. From what I've seen, like sometimes it's like, well, one wants to do something, the other one can't because they know that they shouldn't because they agreed to this, but then deep down they're like, man, I wish I could do. It's like you have to be on the same page.
I totally understand. I mean, I talk to my girlfriend about it all the time, and I see people coming into restaurants and going outings with the family. No one's having a good time. When these people are yelling and screaming, I look at the parents. They're on vacation, spending a lot of money where they are. Do I see a smile? Do I see a laugh? What do I? First thing I talk to them, I need a drink. Need to give me this, bro. They just want to like. How is that pleasant? I don't know. I mean,
You're probably getting the bad parts.
I've seen
of
both.
like a
I've
lot of
seen both.
good.
I've seen both. But I've seen more.
It's
bad
not
than
always
good.
ugly. I promise.
I know.
It is a lot of stress, but it's not always ugly.
I can see that.
And you also don't want to like miss out on everything because your kids don't behave. And like if you never bring them because they don't behave well, then how are they ever gonna learn how to behave?
Yeah, especially when we just talked about having to bring them around so they could see how you react, how you treat them, how you treat
Yeah,
other
Marvin.
people. How
Yeah,
are they
with the
gonna-
program.
Yeah, make up your mind, dude.
I have made up.
But
my
like I
mind.
Doesn't
said,
sound like it.
once
No,
you're a
it does.
parent, it's gonna be different. Trust
It
me.
is gonna be different. It is gonna be
Yeah.
different.
You're
You
gonna
all
be like,
talk,
okay,
bro.
I get
No,
it now.
but people don't have the perseverance to kind of be tough and
You do
I
with your kid.
I believe I will.
Shut the fuck up.
I believe I will.
Honestly, I think so too.
No, I think
Well,
I think so
what?
too.
I talk to
That
my
you
girlfriend all the
will,
time. I'm
because
cutthroat.
I'm very much like harsh, you know, like tough love and to the point, and like this is the right way and that's it. And even all the love that I have for my son hasn't shaken that, you know, like when he's crying, if I know that he's crying and he just wants to be held, and it's not because he's hungry, it's not because his diaper's dirty, it's not because of anything else, he just wants to be held. There's times that I'm like, no, I'm not gonna do it, because if I do it now, then later you're gonna cry, and then you're gonna want me to do that again, and then every day you're gonna throw a fit because I'm picking you up every time you like cry. So no, you can cry for a little bit, and then you're gonna play, and you're gonna forget that you cried.
Yeah.
So that's, you know, you have to get in like into that pattern. But yeah, I
Very
think
well said.
You're gonna have a girl.
I hope so. I want girls.
And
it's gonna
she's-
break him.
It's going.
He's gonna be like, done.
You'll see.
Forget
I'm gonna be
everything he just said is gonna be woof, out the window.
You're gonna have a girl.
I hope so. I've been raised extremely well. My mom has had 8 kids. 6 of them are girls. I've been raised around women all my life. I've seen it. My mom has done an impeccable job. So to sit there and I'm not claiming it's easy. I think it's the hardest job in the world, raising kids, without a doubt. But I'm looking forward to it in a way, but I'm not gonna be one of those fucking chumps.
Yeah.
This is gonna be this. I don't know. I hope this is gonna age well.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Let's see how this ages.